Call of Duty 2021 rumors have started ramping up as we get closer and closer to the announcement and the initial launch of the game, and needless to say, it's looking rough and this might be Sledgehammer's last chance to stay as a main CoD developer for CoDs. But before we get into that though, welcome back to the channel team, and if you are new here, I do hope you enjoy your stay and maybe consider leaving a like and subbing for more CoD content like this. But CoD 2021, rumored to be called Call of Duty Vanguard, that's set in World War II, this CoD is, well, looking rough. Now, before we get any further, I should mention that none of this is officially confirmed and only rumored by leaks from leakers that are reputable in the community, so take all of this with a teaspoon of salt. So starting off with the bare minimum stuff about the game, this game is rumored to be, of course, World War II themed on the Modern Warfare 2019 engine, which I'm not opposed to. Now, I'm not a fan of Modern Warfare 2019 itself, but the engine is undoubtedly good. The only things that I would like to see change in this engine that was in Modern Warfare 2019 is removing tac sprint, because I never actually liked tac sprint and I feel like it doesn't belong in CoD. I feel like it would suit Battlefield better, but in my opinion, tac sprint was just wasn't good. And also nerf or even remove slide to cancel. It would just make the gameplay so much better, because slide canceling on that Modern Warfare engine is insane. It makes anyone look good. But for the World War II part of the game, I'm not insanely excited for another World War II game. I would prefer something else like a near future title or another modern title, but Battlefield clearly has that going for it, so worst case scenario, I just go over to Battlefield. But I feel like not many people are also super excited for another World War II CoD, which can already be a problem for Sledgehammer. Now, besides the theme and engine though, the game itself actually has to be good, but the problem here is that it's been rumored for a while that the development cycle has been terrible for years at this point. And if you don't know, Cold War was supposed to be Sledgehammer's title, but apparently they were so unorganized and so unready to release a game that Treyarch had to come in and turn Cold War into something. Granted, it's not much, but they still kind of made it work. But that right there already has me worried for the development of this CoD and what it's going to be like at launch. Now, like previous CoD launches, I'm not very hopeful at all that the launch will be good, because pretty much every single year it's pretty trash for CoD launches, and in recent years it's just been getting worse and worse. But don't worry though, as leaks that have been coming out recently from reputable leakers are saying that, like Cold War and Modern Warfare, the launch of Vanguard is going to be pretty trash, with some leaks stating that there will only be 8 maps at launch. Come on, 8? I guess you could be somewhat grateful for this, because it's kind of like that sweet spot, you could say. All this is because Modern Warfare 2019 had 9 maps at launch, and Cold War had like 7 or 6, and this CoD is going to be in that middle spot at 8. However, the problem is that it's 8 maps, and chances are they're going to be terrible maps like both Modern Warfare and Cold War launch maps. CoD hasn't been on much of a good original map streak recently, and I'm willing to bet a fair amount that they aren't going to change that anytime soon. Even if the maps are bad though, just remaster some maps and put them in at launch. You're going to do it regardless, so why not have more launch maps by adding like 3 or so remasters? Clearly the original 6v6 CoD maps aren't the main priority, because in Cold War there are 6 remastered Black Ops 2 maps, not even Black Ops 1 or any other CoD, only Black Ops 2, and there are only 5 original maps that have come along since Season 1, and only one of those original maps is decent at most. Now, I do know this is probably part of Activision's drip-fed content to keep people playing, but if you simply just don't drip-feed people and actually give good content, then not only would we not have this problem, but most people would probably stick around with CoD and not just quit immediately like the past 2 years. Now, while this obviously won't happen, it would be nice to see literally any passion towards 6v6 CoD instead of just store bundles and Warzone, and maybe have just the bare minimum content on launch and throughout the CoD's life cycle. But thankfully for us, with Halo and Battlefield dropping later this year, CoD is forced to start producing some decent content again to even compete with those titles, and this game is being made by Sledgehammer, who are struggling from what we've seen on the outside. Of course, we don't know what's actually happening over there, but from them not delivering on CoD 2020 and being rumored to be in shambles, I'm fairly confident things are in sunshine and rainbows over there. That means this is possibly Sledgehammer's last chance to remain as a main CoD developer, making titles instead of being side developers, which they've been used to before. And this also means that if they screw up and make a lackluster game and the game fails, then they're back to the side. So hopefully this is how it is, so they have to give it their all and remain afloat and bringing us a much needed good CoD once again. Now granted, if they just remove SBMM, then they already did better than Cold War and Modern Warfare 2019, and if the game is just at least halfway done, then they beat Black Ops 4 out, which means just one simple fix would already put them ahead of the past 3 years of CoD. But in the end, we don't know anything officially yet, and we can only speculate and hope for the best. If you did enjoy the video though, make sure not to leave without leaving a like and subscribing for more content in the future. But until next time, see ya.